Causes and Effects of the Holocaust by Litti, Minnelli, and Fatima. The word Holocaust, from the Greek words halos, hole, and cactus, burnt, was historically used to describe a sacrificial offering burned on an altar. The Holocaust began when Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany in 1933 and ended in 1945 when the Nazis were defeated by the Allied powers. Causes of the following slides. Here we have pictures of the prisoners. Anti-Semitism and support for Nazism. Everyone did not support Nazism or the Nazi regime. The Nazi regime only needed most people to obey the law, try to stay out of trouble, and promote their own interests as best they could under the current circumstances. World War I. Because Germany lost in World War I, they got economically depressed and wanted to blame someone for everything happening. So they decided to use the following people. These, as you can see, are children who were part of the concentration camps. That someone were the Jews, who they decided to blame for everything going on in their government and in Germany. Germany then turned to Hitler because his speeches blamed the Jews. Hitler would talk about the Aryan race and wanted to eliminate Jews to make the race succeed because he believed Jews held them. Joseph Hitler conducted inhuman medical experiments on prisoners at Auschwitz. He was the most promoted of the Nazis group doctor-conducted experiments that often caused great damage to them. Here we could see how they were treated. Those who participated in doctor death experiments were harshly murdered, meaning that they experimented while they were dead and while they were alive. Before dying in 1979, he escaped to South America to avoid being convicted as a war criminal because he had been part of the Holocaust. Effects of the Holocaust. Now we will present to you the effects of the Holocaust. After the Holocaust began, the population number dropped drastically. About 90% of Jews in Poland were eliminated. Many Jews worked as slaves or were brutally killed on the spot due to being too old or could hardly work, and they didn't need anybody who couldn't work. After the Holocaust ended, it was hard for the survivors to settle in. They were still treated differently. It took a while for them to be treated equally, and the Holocaust had a long-lasting impact on Jews. Here we could see the people trying to get together. Many Jews worked as slaves or were brutally killed on the spot due to the Nazis not liking them. Here we could see how the Jews had to work, and any other group that wasn't fully Aryan. After the Holocaust ended, it was hard for the survivors to settle in. They were still treated differently. It took a while for them to be treated equally, and even the Holocaust had a long-lasting impact on the Jews. Here we have the same picture of Jews being taken away. All countries of the UN made a commitment to prevent further genocide afterwards. So we haven't seen one as big as the Holocaust, not that we know of. Germany was once again blamed for the starting of another world war, but the consequences were not as bad as the first time, and ever since there hasn't been as much of a problem like the one the Nazis started. Here we could see how children were separated from the rest of the world just because of who they were. Thank you.